Hello, Dr. Anand here to tell you about unleashing your inner power with Dr. Anand. Today, I'll tell you a little bit about my story as someone from South Asia who is an immigrant. Well, I'm not the first immigrant. People have been coming to this country from ages. There were Celtics, there were Anglos, there were Saxons. That's why this country is called Anglo-Saxon. Then there was wars, so people came in when they were needed after Second World War. Then there was issues about that. And now this country is bringing in people who are talented, such as doctors or engineers or chefs, specialists. I myself have brought in 3 people time and again to teach music in this area, because that is what's special about our subcontinent. The arts and the culture is ancient. On all the 3-4 countries, we really value our culture. But I am here also to tell you about how to fit in with this country and make a success of it. It's about you. When you come here, how do you make it possible for you, your wife, your children to be happy and successful, to break out of their shells, to merge and interact with the local community, because ultimately it's about communication. So there are many barriers that are with us when we come here. We wear different clothes. The cold is here. You have to drive on the left side of the road. There are lots of rules and regulations. Because in the subcontinent, many things we allow. Here things are much more controlled and disciplined. So we will talk about those things as well. But generally life is good. Otherwise, why would I be, after retiring, still sitting in this country? I could easily go back to the subcontinent and had a very wonderful life with lots of food, lots of servants, lots of this, lots of that. But I'm here. I enjoy here. I've chosen to be here. So this part is about immigration. When people come into this country or any other country, it could be anywhere else. You could be working in Finland, you can be working in China, you can be working from North India to South India, you can be working from Sindh to Lahore, you can be working from Dhaka to Sylhet. It doesn't matter. Once you move even a few miles, you uproot yourself. So immigration has a lot of challenges, and a lot of things have to be learned about the new places: culture, language, clothes, rules and regulation, what is okay, what is not okay. In many cultures, some things are perfectly fine, some way of addressing people is fine, and some ways are not. For instance, if you're in Mumbai and you say, "Chik, the waiter comes, no problem. Don't try it anywhere else," because people get offended. They say, "Am I your servant?" People get very offended. Neither is right, neither is wrong. It's about what is the prevalent culture. You're not come here to change England. You come and see what it is like. And if you want to be happy here, you in particular, then you have to learn a few tricks of the trade. And that's what the first part is about, is to tell you how to be happy in a new environment. To me, it's a little bit like a bride in a patriarchal society going to her in-laws' place. At first, she's very shy. She listens to her mother-in-law, she listens to her father-in-law, and bit by bit, as she is liked and loved, then the mother-in-law will ask, "How do you make parathes in your house? How do you make tea in your place? What's special?" But don't go and impose, because you have come because you wanted to come. This country wasn't begging for you, and you came by choice. You worked very hard to get here. So if you have a little humility in the beginning and reach out, and people will then obviously like you. I, having been in this country 45 years, speak my mind openly, and nobody minds because they know me for 2 generations. Having been a doctor, a lot of people know me, and now I'm in the public life as a politician, and that's even more exposure. But things don't upset me. Even if somebody is rude to me, I just smile, say, "Thank you very much," and walk on, because that's what English politicians do. You don't take an affront, you don't take an umbrage, you don't get angry. So the first thing about being an immigrant is you chose to come and be happy here. And if it's not good here, find a place where you're happy, find a job you're happy, etc., etc., etc. So today the issue is about immigration to a new country. Let me tell you my own story first. My cousin Ashit Sinha, late Ashit Sinha, he came to my hometown, to my mother country, and said, jaldi kijiye, England chaliye, which means be quick, come to England. I said, I will, but I've just finished medicine. I've just got married and my wife is pregnant as well. What do you want me there for? He says, the party is coming who hates foreigners. Then I said, why should I come? He said, because you can come in before that party comes. And how interesting it is that I am a very strong activist, the only strong activist in the Northeast for that party. So things change, things improve. And why it has improved is obviously because of language and because I'm accepted by the community. So I want you to also come here and be loved and liked. Most of us come here for cash, money. So when I was asked at my interview, why did you come here? I said, to have a better standard of living, which is like saying money. I wanted my children to have better education without going to a private school in India. Money. So most of it is to do with economic migration. I did not run away from my mother country. I came here positively. Some people unfortunately have to come because things are hard where they are. But most of us, 99%, 95% come because life is better here. And because this country ruled our part of the world, there's a connection. There often happens that connection. Who's the master, who's the slave is forgotten very soon. You learn to speak English because the English people were there. I mean, I couldn't go to France and start. I couldn't go to Portugal. So England was the natural place. I happened to have a medical degree and I came. And very soon I realized that this country runs on rules. People just drive on the left side of the road. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and there's no traffic, and if the red light comes on, you stop. Initially, I used to fall foul of it. I used to think, well, it's 2 in the morning, nothing's coming, there's no beams coming across, let's go across. But then I got caught and I got fines, speeding fines. And very soon I learned that if you stay within the rules, life is very easy. A lesson for you, stay within the rules. A lot of our people, or quite few I know, just do a little bit of fraud, a little bit. Now, systems are there to catch you. The English people are quite gentle. The first time they let you go. They know what's going on, they let you do it. And they let you do it. But one day, the trap will shut and you'll be either in jail or living abroad, or your names at least will be in the headlines. And that's not good, is it? I mean, from the minority community, if you're coming from the subcontinent, from our own South Asia, it's very bad when the paper prints so-and-so and you feel part of it. Doesn't matter how long I live here, I still feel part of that community. So if somebody's bad name comes, I feel bad because each of us is an ambassador to this country. So remember, when you come from the subcontinent, when you come from South Asia, you are a representative. A lot of us also live in little ghettos, little groups. So you're from that part of the world, the next door is from that part of the world, next door is from that part of the world. Then all you're doing is coming to a cold country and making money. But there's joys here as well. So I'm not just saying don't just stick with yourselves. It is called an echo chamber. What you need is somewhere where there are good people. I have found the local population very, very good because I mix with them, they mix with me, and there is no issue. And remember, it's for your benefit. If you go anywhere, and even in, say, a large country like India or Pakistan or Bangladesh, if you move, you still will have to adjust. Don't go looking just for your own people, within quotation marks. Why do you think we people from South Asia are in the paper more than we should be? Because we do naughty things, we do wrong things, we have a habit of doing them. We have a habit of doing just a little bit of extra. So many of my patients have been in jail. Good people, accountants, businessmen, taxi owners have been in jail because in this country, once they let you cheat, second time they let you cheat, third time you're arrested and there is no escape. You can't tell lies, you can't bribe, you will go to jail. Remember that. I'm saying this for your good. It sounds a bit pathetic, it sounds very cruel, but I love you, that's why I'm telling you, do not try to cheat because you will get caught. Whether it's insurance fraud, whether it's tax fraud, whether it's VAT fraud, our people do it more. I know that. It's a dishonorable thing to admit to, but so it is. So please do not come to this country and try to be clever. Be clever, but I don't mean clever in a bad way, in a negative way, because you will, and I'm saying this for your own benefit, land up in jail. Your wife and kids will cry. Nobody will want to talk to you, and you might want to just run away. But imagine going back to South Asia and they'll all laugh at you. We saw you in the paper. Remember, everything is exposed now. Everything is on the internet. So do not cheat. That is basically the rule for finance. Do not do wrong things because everything is electronic. Do not break any rules as much as possible. Sometimes we make mistakes and the police are very forgiving. The other day I was in Gateshead and I took a turn, and unfortunately the road wasn't very clear to me and I had on-facing traffic. It was night, so there wasn't much traffic. I reversed and went in. I saw a police lady come behind me. I stopped. I took out the keys and handed it over to her and just said, "I'm sorry." I admitted to my guilt, and she was so nice. She said, "Are you new here?" I said, "I'm not new, but I don't know this part of the world, though I live in Newcastle." And she said, "Fine, go." She had looked at my address and checked. So people are kind here. They are not against us. It's we, South Asians, who are against ourselves. We are bitter towards our own self. We are unkind to ourselves. We are unkind to our families by cheating and getting a name in the paper, and everyone is laughing at us. As I was saying, you make a lot of effort, pay a lot of money, detach yourself from your family, your wife and children, etc. to come here, make new friends and everything. One false move and you'll get deported. And once that is, you'll be hated all over the world. So please, please, please stay within the rules. Thank you. Now let me tell you two examples of two of my patients. One was an accountant from the subcontinent, and he got into the habit of gambling. And one day he got money from a patient, another patient of mine, who gave him the money to pay the tax people. He did not. He went and gambled it away. He did not ring the lady and said, "I'm very sorry, I've gambled it away, but I'll make up to you in a month's time." He just didn't file it. When the case came up, he was arrested by the police for evading arrest, and he was in jail, and his name was all over the paper. I felt embarrassed. A different example, a waiter in a restaurant said to me about 12 years ago, he said, "I work in a restaurant and I get £9,000 a year over the table, white money, and I get £5,000 all over the year as black money in my hand, and I'm looking for a mortgage." I said, "But I'm not a doctor, I'm a doctor, I'm not a mortgage advisor. But you cannot get mortgage on black money. You can only spend that on little things, and it's wrong anyway." So all I'm saying is, if you want to maintain your blue passport, it's a blue passport, British now, not red anymore. If you want to maintain that, do not cheat. Do not take shortcuts. Do not take advice from other people from your part of the world because they've done bad things and succeeded. Many times they do shortcuts, what it is called in Hindi, jugaad, like last minute touches. Maybe I'll talk about jugaad as well on another time, but we are so used to working in the chaos of our subcontinent, which was recently freed, and therefore we are very confused that the systems have not laid down, where democracy is still not running very smoothly. But here it is. We have had 400 years of democracy in Britain. This is where democracy started. So rules run here, and if you stick with the rules, you'll be fine. And if you're in trouble, go and ask a solicitor, go and ask your next door neighbor, go and ask a friend who's not necessarily just like you, trying to find another way out of your trouble. Do it the right way. If there's a fine to pay, pay the fine. If there's an insurance claim, it should be genuine. Don't try to cheat, you'll get caught. So many people I know have had fires in their warehouse. It is wrong. Everyone knows. But you know, the English people are quite polite. They know what it is, they just keep quiet for once. Second time they keep quiet. Third time, that's it. You're either in jail, completely ruining your reputation and my reputation as well. So if you wish to come to the Western countries, I'm not just talking about England, it can be Sweden, it can be Finland, there are lots of our people in these countries, Portugal. Do not commit crimes. There is no need for it. You will spoil your reputation, your families, your friends, people from the subcontinent, and generally you create unhappiness. Avoid the police, avoid lawyers, just stay on the clean, narrow path of true good citizen as an immigrant. So, in my coming episodes, I will definitely prove to you that you don't need professional help to get a visa. You don't need that. The rules are there, the system is there, and if you're the right person, living the right way, improving all the time. And I keep saying all the time, improve yourself, improve your language, improve your social skills, improve the work you do. Don't just be stuck in one job and just do, and then go and do naughty things to compensate for the misery of it. If you stick with the law, you'll do it. I'll quote some more examples of people, how they cheat, how they do wrong things and get into trouble. Only the other day, I was talking to a fellow and he says, "Doctor, tell me a way of doing this." I said, "Why are you asking me to do things? I just came as a professional. I stayed within the professional boundary. I could not step out of it. I couldn't be selling drugs on the side. I could be, but why would I just damage my whole reputation? My wife would be ashamed of me. My children would be shocked. And whole community would say, what's happened to this man? He talks about it a lot. Look what he's got himself into." Because when you're new and a different color, a different language, a different way of talking, people will notice you because you stick out like a sore thumb. So you are an ambassador of your country. Whichever part of the South Asian subcontinent you come from, you are an ambassador. Remember, you represent every single person of that faith or that part or of that culture. You are not a single entity. You cannot be lost among all the other local population because you are different. So take full advantage. People are very kind in this country. I realize people go the extra mile. I mean, in this country, there are people who don't learn English and this country gives them translated paper, translated this, translated that. That is the country being gentle, but you're being stupid. You should be going to a night class and learning English. All right, if you're 80 years old and a grandmother and stay at home, that's fine. But if you are seeking a job, and if you're looking for a job, or if you're on the dole for wrong reasons, and let me tell you, a lot of our people, as a doctor, I'll tell you, make fake promises, and their fake doctor lets them have a certificate. But one day they'll be caught. In China, if an acupuncturist gives you a sick note, it lasts longer than a Western doctor. It's a bit like that. So the doctor's reputation is also going down by false certification. So I strongly urge to you, stick within the rules, do the good thing, do night classes, read, look in YouTube. Don't just look at entertainment, look at edutainment. Look at improving your language, improving your knowledge. Don't just watch some Hindi movie and I'm very, very happy, thank you very much. No, read, learn. There's so much to learn. There's so much ease to learn. You can do night classes, you can do courses online, you can join Open University. There is so much. There are camera clubs, there are artistic clubs. These are the ways of getting into this society. But if you don't want to be integrated, why the hell are you here? And that is the point I'm making. Be happy, be positive, be productive, and this society will love you. I'm a living example of that. I came just as a doctor in the hospital, then I became a general practitioner. Now I'm a politician. I've been on radio. I'm now on this wonderful satellite channel, South Asia Global.